Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you happen to be watching this. Welcome to another reaction video on the channel. This is the third part in a 4 mini-series episode where we are going to be reacting to each league table prediction from what has been an incredible season. Today we're reacting to the Championship. I'm a Norwich fan, he's an Ipswich fan. It's going to be fun. Yeah, let's get into it, shall we?
Let's go.
So, on the right-hand side, this is how the league table finished. I don't want to say anything because I come across as a bit smug, but Adam, would you like to start on what has been a fantastic season in the Championship? Get in!
Right, I'm going to go through some of this. Norwich played some of the best football I've seen played in that division for many, many years, and I'm going to be completely honest with it.
Yeah, fair play. That's the best policy.
Like, Ipswich and Bolton have proven that they've both got clubs that have just got rot running through them in different places, and things need sorting out. For Rotherham to get sucked into that at the bottom, I feel a bit sorry for them out of all of them, to be honest. The big one for me is Birmingham. I've had a quick chat with you about it and my thing on it. All of a sudden, their season almost collapsed because they had the points deduction. Yeah. But my goodness me, did they pull things together and make sure they did not get sucked in. Yeah. Because those last couple of spaces, even Bolton's actually, was at one point all going to be up for grabs in terms of the relegation. Everyone was kind of playing for their lives. And Birmingham fought their way away from that. Yeah, they did. They did really well in the end. So, as I said, on the right-hand side is how the league table actually finished. What I'm going to be doing, as you guys will have known if you've seen the League 1 and League 2 ones, link will be in the description for both of those videos. I'm going to be showing you my predictions, and then, as I said, there's going to be green and red arrows depending on how well they finished. If I had a team predicted to finish 21st, and they finished, 24th, and they finished 21st, there'll be a green arrow with a 3+ on it to show how much better they did or how much worse they did. So, without further ado, let's get into my bottom 3 teams this season. I had Wigan, Rotherham and Reading to go down. Now, if you look at the league table, I got Rotherham to be relegated, right? I missed out on one place. Wigan and Reading. First of all, Wigan, if it wasn't for their home form, they would have been relegated. Contrast in the home and away team is absolutely staggering. At home, they are phenomenal, and they gave us a hell of a game towards the end of the season. They barely picked up a win away, though, did they? They went ages without one. But Reading did everything they could to get relegated. Yeah. Oh God. They weren't fun to watch. I think no, they're not. Even they're not fun. Their fans will agree like that. They weren't good to watch last season. No, but terrible. They survive. Yeah, they do survive, and I don't know what to say about Reading. I never know what to say about Reading as a club. It's just very strange. They've got powerful owners. They've had 2 awful seasons. Who don't know how to spend money. No, not really. Do you know what I mean? And, you know, it's a weird club. They've gone through so many managers that have so many different styles of play. I don't think the squad know whether or not they're coming or going. It's very, very strange. But, as you said, they survived. We move on. Right, this is the bottom half of the table. Right, QPR, you know, they did all right in the end, I suppose, but, you know, in amongst that team. They're not the QPR that they used to be anymore, are they? No, but to be honest, that's a good thing because they were hemorrhaging money. They need to rely on their youth team, and, you know, let's just see where they're going to go. Bolton, horrific season. Again, another club with so many off-the-field issues, need to get themselves sorted out, need a new one. Yeah, I mean, I'll call it now, back-to-back relegations. Wow. That's big call. Honestly, I think that something is going to go horribly wrong there now. Yeah. Blackburn did all right towards the beginning of the season, tailed off, but Tony Mowbray's a great manager. He just, I think he's done brilliantly well considering that's their first season back in the division. Millwall, I knew they were going to have a bit of a slump considering where they finished last season, but they survived. Massive clear out. They've already transfer listed Lee Gregory, top goal scorer. That just shows you they wanted to go in a completely different direction for next season. Preston did all right. Yeah, they were quite difficult to beat last season. Preston were. They were a good side to play against.
Birmingham, 1 place difference. Obviously, we've talked about the 9 points penalty as a result of going into financial problems and spending and all that kind of stuff like that. So I had to...
penalties actually probably saved your blushes with that.
Yeah. To be honest, cheers for that, man. Cheers for that EFL. That's the first time I will ever say that. Ipswich, Christ above. Do you know what? I'm going to take my Norwich hat off for a second. I predicted them to finish in 15th, and the reason why I said 15th, I did not expect you to suffer that badly without your 3 top goal scorers. I did not realise how much of an impact that was going to have on you, but it just shows how incredibly average the rest of your squad is. Next season is massive. Just start the kids from the start. Get rid of Cole Scouse. Get rid of all those kind of players. I wouldn't have given Chambers a new contract. I'd have just said, right, let's have Nsiala and Wolfington as your 2 centre halves. Let's go with the kids and just see what happens. It's been a horrific season. Obviously, I took a little bit of pleasure from it because you guys waving £20 notes when Marcus Evans was your new owner, and the amount of stick I got when we got relegated to League One. But it's just.
I feel like we felt that taking the players that Paul Hurst thought were the elite of League One and League Two, which I think is a fair summary of what he did, he thought would craft a budget championship leading team. He did not expect to struggle in that league, I don't think. I think he thought he could come in and be very competitive. And it was just a team of misfits that didn't know how to play together. Mistakes were everywhere. Apart from up front, where there weren't mistakes, just an absolute inability to finish.
Yeah,
there was no craft. There was whenever we were getting the, we were in games where we'd only have 1 flipping shot on target, but that was a frequent occasion. And I don't want to just bang on about Ipswich Rangers because I know about them, but Ipswich are a club with a history that is quite well documented. That's a long, long way in the past now, and people need to bring themselves into the present and think, it's just not good enough.
No,
they're nowhere near where they need to be as a club. They're far too big to, historically, if that's what they're going to link to be where they are now. So they just need to get real.
Side thing for next season, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a prediction video, then I'm going to get you to do a prediction video on the channel, because this guy's insight, I can't wait to see what you think for Ipswich next season. And then we had Brentford and Sheffield Wednesday. Brentford did quite well, change of manager right at the beginning of the season, Dean Smith. It took them a while to adjust, but they're a good team. They've got such a fascinating way of being able to identify players. The scouting network they use, the way that they assess players that they sign is absolutely fascinating. They have no reserves, no youth team. It's incredible. It's to be admired.
It's focus, though, isn't it? Yeah. It's a different strategy.
Yeah.
And it also means that club finances are able to be more focused.
Which in this division is crucial.
Absolutely crucial. Because there's a lot of teams that don't have in this division that don't have a broad scouting network.
Yeah.
Like the teams that don't have the money, don't have the breadth of scouting network that the higher teams do. And to be able to focus all of your money into your team in that way will allow you to fish in more ponds.
Exactly.
And that's paying off. They did well.
Yeah. And Sheffield Wednesday had a terrible start. Steve Bruce came in and completely transformed that team. They are going to be a force to be reckoned with.
I loved watching them at the end of the season. Sheffield Wednesday were quality.
They're a good team. Just had a bad manager. Next season, they're going to be able to get rid of a lot of big earners in their team. The likes of Gary Hooper's going to be out of contract. He's probably sitting on their 25, 30 grand. They're going to be
comfortably.
They are going to be a force to be reckoned with next season because Steve Bruce knows the championship and he's going to do well.
He's a good manager.
You heard it here first. Right, teams who finish outside the playoffs next. And this is where I had Hull in 12th place, and I got a lot of stick for this because I knew that Nigel Atkins was going to do a great job. They finished 13th. I'm happy with that. Again, another club who's got loads of problems off the field, but they just have a good, solid team. They're not fantastic. They're not terrible. They're just where they are.
I don't think Hull have now got quite a big job if they're now going to get back to the point where they're Premier League again.
Yeah,
that feels too distant.
I can't see it happening, but
I think that's a fair prediction.
If they lose Jared Bowen, if they lose Krasitsky, it's going to be a very, very tough time for them next season. But we'll come to that as and when we cross it. Next two teams, Norwich and Sheffield United. Both teams, obviously I'm a Norwich fan, I'm going to be a little bit biased here. Both teams performed well above expectations. I think any Norwich fan who told you that we were going to get promoted at the beginning of the season is a liar. Nobody saw it coming after last season, but in all honesty, our turning point was losing 3-1 to Leeds at home.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say to you, like, can we talk about the first few games of the season?
No, we can't.
Norwich?
No, we can't.
Because I seem to remember people not being too keen on Daniel Fox sticking around, and I don't really know what happened, but there was a game which they won, and then they won and they won and they won, and then that was it. They were into the distance.
As I said, the Leeds result at home, we lost, I think it was 3-0 or 3-1. It was the kick up the arse that we needed, because that they showed us, right, if you want to play this passing pressing game, you have to play to the intensity that they did. Yeah. We mirrored that and flourished. And this team,
some of the one-touch football that Norwich played wasn't.
Yeah, honestly, I only got to a handful of games last season. I think I went to 5. We were just incredible. And I remember sitting there, I'm not going to make this too much about Norwich, but I was sitting there at half-time when we were losing 2-1 at home against Bristol City, and everyone around me was moaning. I was like, this is some of the best football I've ever seen in my life. We're so unlucky to be losing 2-1. But, yeah, absolutely incredible.
It's different when you paid 35 quid to get in, though, wasn't it?
Oh, it's such a rip-off.
Everyone with their kick-outs could have a whinge.
Yeah, exactly. But Sheffield United, again, Chris Wilder, he loves that club. They've done brilliantly. I think, honestly, they're going to ruffle a few feathers next season in the Premier League.
McGoldrick, he turned up made of glass, and he turned him into stone or something. He managed to get through the whole season. It was incredible.
Yeah.
What has happened?
Yeah, they've been amazing. Yeah, I think both of us deserve to go up as the season's gone on. Both teams have been brilliant. Swansea just finishing one place lower than what I predicted. Bristol City is the only one at this point I've got right.
Yeah, you've had a tough time, haven't you, mate?
I have had a really bad time in this division, but it just goes to show you should never make predictions about the Championship. It's so hard to call. Yeah. Aston Villa, until their run towards the end of the season, who could have saw?
Tyrone Mings changed a lot for them.
Yeah, he did in all honesty.
Made huge strides. They're all calling for him to sign. I don't know if that'll happen or not. And I don't know what sort of money that Bournemouth would want for him. He's never really done much for Bournemouth, to be honest.
No, he's been injured a lot.
He's been injured a lot, but he seems to get found out a lot in Premier League level. But he came in for Villa, seemed to shore up the defence and got all the fans on side. Yeah, and he did a good job. Villa didn't really leak the goals after that point.
He's done a very good job. And obviously they've topped off with getting promoted.
They play some nice football though as well, don't they? Villa do.
Out of all the teams that got promoted, Aston Villa is the one team I didn't want to get promoted.
Really?
And the reason why is because their financial spending power next season is going to be ridiculous. The club that size is going to be able to attract some really good players. And obviously, as a Norwich fan, I don't want that. I'd rather West Brom got promoted because they're a yo-yo club.
I'm going to come out and say something a bit controversial.
There we go.
When Villa got relegated from the Premiership, I was actually pleased because they'd spent so long in the same 5 positions, season after season after season, and I just wanted it freshening up. Since they've gone down in those 2 seasons, some absolute tosh has gone into the Premier League. And now I want a team like that with the following and everything and the ground size to be pushed back up.
Yeah,
and we've now got Villa with a huge following, Sheffield United with a huge following, and Norwich, who apparently fill 400,000 seats a game. So
we do. We are known for our 400,000 sellouts every game. Right, let's move on to the top 6 now. This is what I had. Forest. I mean, some of these predictions, they're embarrassing. I mean, Forest, they just... I don't know why I back them every year, because they go in and they think, right, that's a good signing. That's a good signing. They're going to do well this year. And then they appoint Martin O'Neill as their manager. I mean, for Christ's sake.
Forest, though, big club. They always have a bit of money to splash around. They never seem to quite do it.
Martin O'Neill is not a good manager. I'm just putting it out there now. I don't like him as a manager. I think they're really going to struggle next season. Forest fans, let me know if you think I'm wrong on that one. I had Leeds in the playoffs. They did get into the playoffs. 2 places. Honestly, I know everyone takes the mick out of Leeds for falling apart again, and I've done it. I'm guilty of it myself. But Christ above, that implosion was absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say about them. Like,
no,
I went
terrible.
from watching them play some incredible football to seeing them lose to Ipswich on the last day of the season.
Yeah.
And that pretty much is the story of their season, like playoffs aside.
Yeah.
Then they put the whole song around about Frank Lampard and then went on to lose, and Lampard put the video up in the dressing room. You just don't do it.
No, you don't do it in the first leg. That's a rookie mistake, boys. Rookie mistake. West Brom. Another prediction, right? That's another. I say another. It's only the second one of this video. Derby just about managed to get into the playoffs. You know, obviously lost to the final, but that's, you know, it's another.
Got a lot to say about Derby. How much money can you keep spending before that's not sustainable?
Yeah, do you know what? Everyone goes on about the fact that he had a massive wage cut and he had to do this and he had to do that. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He spent a little bit of money. He's got big Premier League players in because of who he is. He's spending lots of money on these guys on their wages. I think next season, again, they're going to have a bit of a clear out. Loan players are going to go back. People like Harry Wilson are not going to come back to him next season. I think it's going to be a massive ask for him. I don't think he's going to do that well.
He's got the contacts, hasn't he?
He has got the contacts. Who can he pull in though? That's the that's the big question. They're honestly, Derby are going to be the most fascinating team for me next season in the Championship. I can't wait to see how they do. Top two, right? Let's just get this out of the way. Stoke and Middlesbrough. Stoke, far too many draws.
I think they let a lot of people down last year.
Yeah,
Stoke.
Yeah,
like,
they did.
It's a bit of a hard thing to say. Like, you let me down as such, but yeah, I expected Stoke to go up.
I'm not angry with Stoke. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, very much so.
They as I said, far too many draws. Nathan Jones has come in now, and he's going to be playing against Luton next season. He's had the second half of the season to evaluate this team. And again, there's going to be a massive amount, because you're obviously in your second year of parachute payments. You've got to get rid of a lot of that deadwood out of the club. Absolutely fascinating.
16th. It's not
good enough.
Poor.
It's not good enough. Really, really not good enough. Middlesbrough, massively disappointed with them. But what do you expect with a Tony Pulis team? He just boring. It was going quite well, and then it fell apart. And now he's out of the club. I hope, and this might sound a bit harsh, I hope he never gets a job again. Him, Sam Allardyce, David Moyes. That cycle of repetitive,
big name, poor performance managers.
Yeah, crap football.
Martin O'Neill.
Martin O'Neill. I'm chucking you on the list. Yeah, I hope those kind of people never get a job again, because the Middlesbrough fans absolutely hated him, hated this style of football. It got so boring. He's like a Mick McCarthy. They're going to do a job. They're going to do all right, but do you really want to pay 35 quid a ticket every single time you want to go and see that team? No, you don't.
His hat just annoys me, to be fair.
Yeah.
Just to put something random out there.
Just wears the entire club shop. He's a walking advert. He's brilliant for a club and for the chief executives, but from a fan's perspective, terrible. But yeah, only 2 correct predictions from this one. Championship's a tough division to predict. Horrible to predict. It's been a crazy
next year,
season.
you need to predict the playoff winners as well. Just as a little...
Yeah, that's a good side note. Good side note. I think next season, and this might sound a bit weird, but I think it's going to be the poorest quality the Championship's had in a long time.
But still, with the names in there, it is Premiership 2.0.
Yeah, it is.
You
it is.
go through there. There's so many clubs that's like, yeah, they're a Premier League team. They're a Premier League team. They're not anymore.
No.
And they won't be for a very long time.
No. It's going to be a fascinating year next year. So much to happen during the summer. I hope you've enjoyed this reaction video. We've talked probably a little bit too long about Norwich and Ipswich, but that's okay, because we are their fans. But if you support a team in the Championship, let us know down in the comment section how you think your season went. Did you have a good season? Did you have a bad season? What went wrong? What went well? Let's open up a conversation. Me and Adam are we're non-league fans now. This is predominantly a non-league channel. We want to get to know you guys a little bit more. So let us know, we'll open up a conversation. Both me and Adam will get involved in it. And let us know how what you thought of it. And if you want to check out some of the non-league stuff that we have produced over this season, all the videos will be in a playlist in the description down below. Really, really hope you check that stuff out, because non-league football is the future.
I've got to go. I've got a League One tour to attend to. So see you later, mate.
Adios.